Hey everyone, this is Kieran. Today's exercise is looking at how to rebuild some sort of coordination and some control between our arms, our legs, and our tummy and back. So it's called a quadruped row, and you might have seen it with a different name before, but really useful after things like back injury, shoulder injury, hip injury, or even neck injury sometimes. So if that sounds like something that could be useful for you, give this video a watch. So when we hurt our back or hip or shoulder, any region for that matter, something that can happen is you go through a period of bracing, right? It's sore, you don't want to move it as much, it's your own personal cast, right? It's a good thing, it's protective. As your pain starts to reduce and things are starting to heal, you do want to try and regain some of that range of motion, right? And in fact, we'll see in people that have chronic pain, not everyone, but a characteristic of chronic pain can be co-activation or extra bracing, unnecessary amounts of muscle tension. Now, it's not to say that every person with chronic pain has unnecessary amounts of muscle tension, it's just a thing that we do see commonly enough to note it, right? So how would you reduce chronic tension? Really, it's just about exposing yourself to some movements. And those movements need to be challenging. They need to be challenging in a coordinative type of way, not so much like a strength way or an endurance way. Those might be qualities that you get out of the exercise, but what you're trying to do is improve your ability to basically, for example, not fall over. That's what this exercise would be about. Or it might be your accuracy or your performance. How well can you do the thing repetitively over time? What this does over time is your body learns what is the most appropriate amount of muscle tone to execute the task. And so you can't really get the muscle tone to change in a permanent way until you start doing the things over and over and over again, high volume, high exposure, low intensity. Later on, you can get into some higher intensity. So just a bit of background and maybe some thought around why you'd utilize something in a particular way. Because I think a lot of the time people will do manual therapy, stretching, foam roller, that type of stuff. And they can be useful, but some of those are better in a short-term time frame, so still relevant. I'd still promote all those things. In a stretching context, you might use that in a more of a long-term situation, but you still need to learn how to move in and out of positions, and that's going to improve that coordination, right? So for this exercise, you need something like a bench, a weight bench, or it could be a strong coffee table, even a couch. You just need the weight to be able to go past the level of what you're on. I'll show you what that means in a second. And you just need to choose a weight that feels challenging. Okay, so I'm on a plinth here. It's just what I've got access to right now. This is about 6 kilos. So you guys have all seen these exercises before where you go into these types of movements. This might be a little bit about where you start, but as soon as you feel like your balance is pretty good, you want to bring in some challenges. And so that's what this weight is. The weight isn't there necessarily to make your arm tired. What it's there for is to make it feel like it's going to pull you off, and you have to keep your balance and not fall off. So you could just hold it, you could row it up and down, you could have your other knee down to improve your stability, so you got 3 points versus 2. And I'm just trying to create a challenge. So by me moving the weight, it's the up and down and the drag, and I have to try and not fall over. Let's add a little more weight. So now we got 12 kilos. And being in this position again, and now that's a little bit trickier. And the cool thing is you don't really have to worry about, am I doing this right or am I doing this wrong? What it's about is just exposing yourself to something that feels challenging, but that you can still perform it and execute it. And then you get better at it over time, right? Just like if you tried to learn how to juggle. It's going to be challenging at first, not going to have a lot of success, some exposure over time. You're going to have some periods of growth really quick, and then you'll get better at it. So this kind of thing will just help your body execute the task with the right amount of effort and the right amount of tone in the muscle. And that's something that's really useful to regain after these types of injuries. So hopefully you guys found that useful. If you have any questions, please ask below. If you want to see any more particular videos around this type of topic, let me know and I can do that. If you like this video, then please hit like below. Otherwise, to check out more of our content in the future, you can subscribe to our channel by clicking our logo over here. And to check out our latest video, click up here.